Nation's just wrapping up. Certainly had a good time out there, dressed in all white. That's a female Andy Reid, and that's the real Andy Reid right there.
That's a floss.
Yeah, wow,
what you know about that? You think I was born yesterday?
No, that's definitely not.
Sock'em robots.
Yeah. Oh, he was definitely not born yesterday for you that.
First time in 50 years, they are here partying it up and celebrating the Super Bowl. In the meantime, Quan Alexander, Kyle Juszczyk, Sherm. They're getting ready. They get a full hour in front of the cameras and microphones coming your way. Meantime, back in studio with Steve Mariucci, Maurice Jones-Drew. I am Chris Rose. All right, guys, what do we think of the Chiefs? They were obviously excited to be there, energetic. You saw it on the smiles of the faces of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and heck, even Andy Reid was out there in that. How could you miss him in that shirt that he was wearing? What'd you think overall, MJD?
Well, first and foremost, I think Coach Mariucci said it best. When you go in there, you're a little nervous as a coach. You're like, I just hope no one comes out here and says something too crazy that there's going to be a distraction, right? So that part is over with, but I thought they handled it really well. I thought the players were energetic. They were interactive with everybody. We saw what Uncle Prime was doing. We saw what Irv was doing, playmaker, like just interrupting, and guys were just going back and forth.
Nothing controversial.
Controversial. It was a great hour.
If anyone was going to say anything controversial, you'd hold your breath on who? Travis Kelce, maybe?
No.
Huh? No. But he was great.
Right.
And he's always great. He's a fun-loving guy, man. Is he a good player? And then Patrick Mahomes, come on. This kid, and I say kid because he's younger than all four of my kids, and he's got such a bright future, and he says and does all the right things. He's such a great pro. He's mature beyond his years right now, and I've had a chance. I just came back from watching him practice and interviewing Andy and all that, and I did it in training camp and last year. And I don't remember a ball hitting the ground yet in practice, in 3 practices. I mean, this guy is so good in practice. All the fancy throws that you see, the blind throws and all that, going right, going left, he doesn't practice. And Andy doesn't, hey, fundamentals. He lets him go. Complete passes. He's so good. I just love watching film and watching him practice and play. He's a superstar.
Well, we're always looking for the next guy in a league, right? Mm-hmm. And we've got 3 older quarterbacks, and Tom Brady and Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers as well, who are on. If they're not there next year, they're certainly on the way out soon.
Phillip Rivers.
But Phillip Rivers was never a face of the league sort of guy. But what about Patrick Mahomes? I mean, he is it. Do you think he knows it and is ready to embrace it?
Well, I mean, once you get into those certain commercials with Aaron Rodgers, you definitely know that you're starting to get to that point. But I think, again, it's how he plays and how he kind of handles himself, right? The no-look passes, and when you're going to Chicago and you're counting what pick it was, But then at the end of the day, he's a very humble and an honest young man. And so, yes, he's able to have fun and play because that's what athletes and kids do. But then also when you ask those type of questions, he can give you the answer that really is deep down inside and means to him. And he's not always like that.
He was lucky enough to grow up in a clubhouse or a locker room.
Yeah, that always, yes.
Pat Mahomes was a big league pitcher for 11 seasons.
Absolutely, and that benefited Patrick tremendously to see what a pro should be and that lifestyle, and boy, does he handle it well. I'm excited, and Honey Badger too.
Yeah.
Tyrann Mathieu, he's the quarterback of that defense.
Right.
He's the new leader of that. What a great get that was, and I enjoyed listening to Clark Hunt too address the team. That was awesome.
That was pretty cool. All right, coming up next, the San Francisco 49ers. They'll have a complete hour, but before that, we have a joint team appearance where you get the Chiefs and the Niners on the stage at the same time. Quarterbacks, tight ends, defensive captains. Let's send it down to Miami. Here's Dan Hellie.
Welcome back to opening night, everybody. As we know, nothing unites America more than the Super Bowl. And just 6 days from now, the Chiefs and the 49ers will be battling for the right to hoist this Lombardi trophy. But on this night, the Chiefs and 49ers will join us here on stage on Super Bowl opening night. We start with the AFC champion, Kansas City Chiefs, their captains, and their head coach. Patrick Mahomes, Tyrann Mathieu, Travis Kelce, Anthony Hitchens, Dustin Colquitt, Harrison Butker, and their head coach, Andy Reid. And from the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers, captains Jimmy Garoppolo, Richard Sherman, George Kittle, DeForest Buckner, Joe Staley, and head coach Kyle Shanahan. That combined for 29 wins, including the playoffs, a number 1 and a number 2 seed. 266 games down and 1 to go.
See that, guys? Kyle Shanahan went rogue. He went
all black.
He went all black on us.
That's Kyle.
And he does. He's a little different. Fun different, though, as a coach.
It's not about him. It's more about his team. But his style is his style. He's been like that since I first met him back in 2003.
Well, he had to wear something different than the players, didn't he?
Oh.
Yeah, well, Andy Reid's not wearing the same thing.
Andy Reid, you know, you spot him a mile away, right?
Yeah. Actually, all the players dressed in white. I thought they were like getting ready to do a Backstreet Boys rendition out there together.
Dance-off.
Yeah. I always wonder how this goes over with the players.
Dance?
It was nice to kind of see the players get together for a second, because the next time you'll see them, they're going to be lining up against each other.
If this was college, it probably would have happened much differently if there was 2 college teams going up there to talk. But because we're professionals and we have to handle it a certain way, that's what we do.
All right, so here we go. Let's send you back to Miami.
And joining us on stage now, a couple of my colleagues from the TV world, Jay Glazer and primetime Deion Sanders, both with the captains. Prime, let's start with you with the quarterbacks and the defensive captains. Take it away.
Mr. Mahomes, this 49ers team, they have a tremendous defensive front.
Yes.
They have Richard Sherman on that island longer than Gilligan. Are you sleeping good at night?
I'm trying to. I mean, I understand that it's going to be a great challenge, great defensive line, great linebackers, great secondary, and they play well together. So I'm going to try to sleep as best I can and try to find ways to get it to the playmakers I have around me.
And you definitely have those. Jimmy G, this is our first meeting, man.
Oh, yeah.
Look at all the women screaming. You've had the opportunity to watch one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time win a couple of these things. What did you take from that?
You know, just his calm demeanor, how he went about it like it was another game, and just, stepping up, making big plays in big moments. I mean, that's what it's all about.
You watch this guy?
Oh, yeah, all the time. He's making plenty of big plays.
Is he really that good?
Unbelievable. You've seen the tape, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen it live at practice. Speaking of practice, Richard Sherman, we know you don't back down for nothing. You got 2 chips on your shoulders, and you're going to keep them there for various reasons. I went and watched this dude at practice on Friday. Man, it's some speed out there, dog. And I don't think he's shying away from anybody. Are you ready?
I wouldn't expect him to shy away from anything. They got some of the most dynamic playmakers in this league. They got a ton of speed. He got a ton of arm talent. He can get the ball wherever he wants it, when he wants it. He can move around the pocket. You know, we gotta find a way to get that solved. You know, they have a great offense and obviously a ton of playmakers. That's why they're here. That's why they made it to the show.
Turn, my man. Look at that little nice smile. I love this dude, man. Hey, we hear a lot about the offense. I'm talking about San Francisco now. Their defense. We hear a lot about your offense, but not really your defense. Are you guys disrespected?
I mean, you know, you could look at it like that, Prime. I just look at it as a challenge, right? To go out there, to not so do it for the people that don't believe in you. You more so want to go out there, do it for the people that do believe in you, right? The guys that in the locker room with you, the guys that sweating with you. And we got that faith. We got that belief that as long as we're playing together, you know, we can get it done. We can get it done.
Are any of you guys going to pick off any of those guys? Are any of you guys going to beat any of those guys for 6?
I see how y'all set us up out here.
Yeah. Hey, back to you guys. We out here, man.
All right, Prime, thank you very much. Here with Kyle Shanahan and Andy Reid. Andy, let's start with you. One of your players once called you the head coach of second chances, and you now get a second chance here at a Super Bowl. What's different this time around for you as opposed to back in 2004?
Well, I think there's more people, more media. The attention's phenomenal. It's great for the National Football League. It's a tribute to Roger Goodell and for all that he does and the time and effort the owners put in. So, I mean, this is it's a blast.
Opening night, a little bit of a different deal now than it was back in 2004. Kyle, 4 wins for your San Francisco 49ers last year, 13 this year, and you find yourself in the Super Bowl. I think you learned a lot about your team. What did you learn about yourself over the last couple of years?
Just believe in the right people, and usually good things happen. You know, we started out 0-9. Our second year was 4-12. Had a great group of guys. Added a few more this year, and we just stayed the course. And our guys have made it through a lot this year. We found a bunch of different ways to win, overcome some injuries, and we got a special group who cares about each other a lot, and they've been able to carry it over to the field.
I know a guy that's always believed in you is your father, 2-time Super Bowl champion as a head coach, Mike Shanahan. What kind of advice has he given to you leading up to this week?
The same he does every week. Just stick with your routine, be you, work as hard as you can, and that's all you can worry about.
The first father-son tandem to coach in a Super Bowl in NFL history. Actually never happened in baseball or basketball either. Andy, we'll wrap things up with you. You have possibly the most electric player in football in Patrick Mahomes. If I asked you to describe him in one word, what would that word be?
Yeah, well, listen, he's great. He's great to be around every day. He works to be great every day. This guy over here has got a good one, too, with Jimmy. So this should be a heck of a game from a quarterback standpoint. The league's lucky to have these guys. Both of them are young guys, and the sky's the limit for them.
The torch has been passed. 2 great quarterbacks in this game and 2 great tight ends. The best 2 tight ends in football with Jay Glazer. Glaze?
All right, thanks. Hey, I'm here with Travis Kelce, George Kittle. Look at that. Kittle is like fanboying out. You okay?
Yeah, well, I just met The Rock, which was cool, and Travis Kelce's here. So, yeah, like I'm living my best life.
You're sitting here like totally starstruck, about this whole night. Look, both of you guys obviously the 2 best in the game. I'm going to let you guys fanboy out over each other. So he obviously gets a lot of love for blocking and receiving. Which part of his game is more impressive to you?
Man, it's there's a reason he's labeled as the first team All-Pro, man. Is this the tenacity he plays with, the energy on both sides, both blocking and in the receiving game, and then he's an animal when he gets the ball in his hands.
You sounded like you were a little jealous there that he was the first team All-Pro.
No. I was giving credit where credit's due. There's a reason.
All right, if you're going to break down his game, what part of Kelce's game do you think makes him so dangerous?
Well, other than being like the best red zone threat in football, just when you watch his film, just how much passion he plays with and how much fun he has in the game. I mean, I really think that just watching him on film, he kicked down the door for how good a tight end can actually be.
Hey, how wild, it's just day one, but how wild has this experience already been?
Man, it's been a whole lot of fun, specifically because of these people in Miami. You gotta love it, man. Gotta love it.
Gotta love it, absolutely. Football is family. Send it back to fam right here, Dan Hilly.
All right, Jay, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the next time these 2 teams are in the same building, it will be on the field for the Super Bowl. Opening night rolls on.
Kansas City Chiefs, you are dismissed. Your media obligations for the evening are over. Niners, you're on the clock. Coming up on opening night.